Bad news. Millions lose retirement at 65 in Canada, plus Liberal crushed on CTV over Jimmel scandal. Reactions and analysis. Millions of Canadians are on edge after talk of changes to retirement benefits began circulating, fueling fears that the long-standing age of 65 for accessing old age security and related programs may be shifting. For decades, turning 65 was a symbolic milestone for seniors, marking the transition into retirement with a baseline of financial security. Now, speculation that eligibility could rise to 67 has created panic for people planning their futures. At the same time, a very different storm is unfolding south of the border, where Jimmy Kimmel's suspension from television has erupted into a controversy over free speech and political interference. These two issues might seem unrelated, but together they expose the sense of instability facing ordinary citizens in both Canada and the United States. For Canadians, the retirement debate cuts directly to the heart of financial survival. The country's system has long been built on the idea that seniors should have access to old age security and the guaranteed income supplement at 65. On top of that, the Canada Pension Plan gives workers flexibility, allowing them to draw benefits as early as 60 or delay them until 70 for higher monthly payments. But the guarantee of starting at 65 is what millions have built their budgets and expectations around. Even the mere possibility of change shakes confidence. Families who mapped out their savings, mortgages, or medical plans with the understanding that OAS kicks in at 65 suddenly face a future that feels less secure. The fear around raising the retirement age is not only financial, but deeply personal. After decades of hard work, many Canadians see 65 as the long-awaited chance to rest. For those in demanding jobs like construction, caregiving, or factory work, being told they might need to keep working until 67 feels devastating. Coupled with soaring housing, food, and utility costs, the change could trap seniors in debt or force them to rely on children already crushed by high living costs. Inflation has already eroded savings, and delaying benefits risks leaving thousands of seniors struggling in silence. Prime Minister Mark Carney knows the political stakes are high. Economists warn that as Canadians live longer and healthcare needs grow, the system may not be financially sustainable. Raising eligibility could ease the pressure on federal programs, but the political fallout would be explosive. Seniors remain one of the most reliable voting blocs, and losing their support could reshape elections. Opposition parties like the Conservatives and Bloc Québécois have promised a fierce fight, framing the move as an attack on vulnerable Canadians who've earned their retirement. For Carney, the challenge is walking the tightrope between fiscal reality and public outrage. South of the border, another controversy is unfolding as Jimmy Kimmel was suspended after controversial comments about the killing of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk. ABC affiliates pulled the show, sparking accusations that the decision stemmed more from political pressure than broadcast standards. With Donald Trump back in the White House and regulators signaling consequences for networks, critics see Kimmel's removal as a chilling example of how fragile free speech can be under partisan scrutiny. What began as a late-night controversy has morphed into a broader battle over media independence in America. What made the controversy even sharper was the way media outlets handled it. In Canada, a Liberal MP appearing on CTV was pressed about the scandal, struggling to defend free speech values while avoiding direct criticism of the U.S. president. Viewers described the moment as a crushing exchange, with the politician appearing out of touch and unprepared for tough questioning. For many Canadians watching at home, it reinforced a growing belief that political elites are failing to stand up for basic democratic principles, whether on retirement security or media freedom. The optics were brutal for a government already facing skepticism on economic issues. The connection between the two stories lies in trust, or rather, the erosion of it. In Canada, people feel they cannot trust that promises about retirement will be kept. In the United States, citizens see media institutions bowing to political power, undermining trust in the independence of the press. Both issues highlight a deeper anxiety, that ordinary people are being left powerless while decisions are made behind closed doors. When governments and institutions stop honoring their commitments, whether to seniors or to free speech, it becomes harder for citizens to believe in the stability of the system itself. Some argue raising the retirement age is a practical necessity as Canada's population ages and baby boomers retire in record numbers, increasing pressure on younger workers to fund pensions and healthcare. Similarly, ABC defends Kimmel's suspension as a way to maintain broadcast standards and avoid polarizing content. While these decisions may be practical, the way they are communicated often feels dismissive and opaque, which only heightens public frustration and distrust. For Canadians, the practical advice is clear: stay informed and prepare. OAS and CPP rules still allow claiming at 65, and nothing official has changed. But if the government does move forward with reforms, the rollout would likely happen gradually, perhaps starting with younger generations who still have decades before retirement. This means people approaching 65 today may be safe, but the uncertainty remains. Reviewing personal savings, pensions, and strategies for delaying benefits could help households guard against sudden changes. In the United States, the Kimmel suspension is far from over. Lawsuits are already being discussed, and advocacy groups are calling for congressional inquiries into whether political pressure crossed constitutional lines. Free speech battles in America are nothing new, but the current climate underlines how fragile rights can feel when cultural and political tensions are this high. For Canadians observing from the North, the situation is a reminder that protecting democratic norms requires vigilance, no matter which party is in power. Both controversies share a common warning: complacency is dangerous. People often assume that certain things, retiring at 65, being able to speak freely on television, are immovable fixtures of society. But history shows that even deeply entrenched norms can shift quickly under economic or political strain. Whether it's a Canadian senior fearing 2 extra years of work or an American viewer watching their favorite show vanish overnight, the message is the same: never take stability for granted. In the end, the title captures the raw emotion of this moment: bad news for Canadians worried about losing retirement at 65, and a Liberal MP publicly crushed while defending the indefensible on live television. These events aren't isolated. They reflect broader trends of uncertainty and mistrust sweeping across North America. People are demanding honesty, accountability, and leadership that put citizens first. Until those demands are met, the outrage will only grow louder. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for latest updates.